The fact that I only cried about Klaus and I was just everything else, I was just like,
Hold up.
I just cried the entire episode.
Like, why these writers are so against happy endings? Like, what the fuck?
and not even that. Like, if you're not gonna go for a happy ending, sure, but like, why would they finally give Landon? Why would they leave Landon, the one who has been literally not on the show for 2 fucking seasons, the most open ending one? Because he's going to be the thriving point for season 5. Why the last season for him to thrive? Go to hell.
Literally, it's like you're not getting another season.
Yeah, literally, and Kronos coming in season 5. I'm like, Kronos would have been better if it came this season because that's what Lizzie and Laura kept doing, but instead they kept doing it and then stopped it for Ken. Doesn't make sense. Should have just continued to be Kronos. And then like now Kronos is coming after his brother died. Who woke them up? Like ain't Ben and them already chilling? Like that's the dumb. You know,
were annoying.
And like Julie Black is a trash, but she would have not done Handon that dirty. That was all Brett's doing. Like season 2, she was going to crank it up.
I don't get why he fucking did that though.
I don't understand it. And the thing is that like he really catfished us because he wrote all these Handon episodes and everybody was like, oh, he's a Handon warrior, and then he has the whole like floor to do what he wants and he just doesn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Season 3 was like an AU episode, basically an AU fanfic of how would Hope deal with Landon for her to go back on her word by the end of the fucking season. And then she finds out that Landon is literally in limbo alive after she tried to find a fucking sign from being alive last season. And was like, okay, Landon, can you resurrect my dad? And then I can go on my life. It doesn't make sense.
Hey guys, it's Iz.
Hey guys, it's Naj.
Hey, it's Robyn.
Hi guys, it's Vit.
And today we're here with part 3, aka the finale part of our opinions on ships from the Vampire Diaries universe. Today we're talking about Legacies, and pretty much I feel like this might be an easy ass thing because there's barely shit. There's barely shit on the show, and since the show is so short, and barely any friendships on Legacies, so I don't really know what else we could possibly talk about.
They say show about friendships.
They said that. They said that.
Where?
No, seriously, like the Vampire Diaries is about love, I guess, or something like that, brothers. And then, Original is about family, and then Lex is about friendships. I'm just like, where are we talking about? There's one friendship in this show. There's one. And there's not the squad group, please. It's literally Hizzy and that's it. Like, where? That's the only really, like, okay, whatever. Okay, so Hope obviously has, oh my God. Hope literally has like 85 relationships connected to her. So she has to be last.
Gotta be last.
Literally, like people ship her with air at this point. Clark. I cannot believe y'all shipped her with Clark. And the only thing he did was BG her and try to kill her.
That was so nasty.
That was demented because like they really was messaging this man.
He's a man
about his opinion.
He's a man pushing 40 with that issues.
Right. Oh my God.
And Nikki was like,
Vince said that.
Friend.
Literally. So who should we start with first? Let's start with the characters that was introduced in season 4, such as 3 to 4, I guess.
Are we gonna go backwards?
Yeah, because I feel like the people that was here, like Cleo would have been one of the first ones that we do. Because Cleo and Caleb only had each other. So they can literally get out the way.
Okay, let's do Cleo and Caleb. I did not like them.
They like, I feel like a lot of these ships just was like, now the writers, talk about the writers, I feel like they didn't know what to do with these ships, so they just said, what can we take that could connect them to Handon? With this, the eye thing, I'm like, you had to compliment him when he literally died. That was not eating for me, like, especially when Legacies already spoiled it. Yeah, they had the same issues, literally the same problems, such as him putting her in a cage because he wants to protect her, just like how Hope did that to Landon. Hell, even Josie did that to Landon. And then you got him basically acting like a different person to try to flirt. I mean, make it seem like he's good, whatever. and she sees through the bullshit. And then he easily forgives her after she stabbed his friend. But Lord, he was mad at Hope for simply just breathing. And the thing is, I really couldn't get into it because season 4, he literally did Hope dirty, and I would just, and then like and everybody just forgave him because of love, and I'm just like, you knew her for about 3 to 4 weeks, and I even sat there and I sat there and counted the days. I sat there and counted the days. It was like 18 something days, and some of them she was in Malivore. She was literally in Malivore. It's fucked up. He took like, and I was supposed to like root for his happiness when he literally did the same shit that they was crucifying Hope for, and I'm just like, what? But I knew it was going to be a bumpy hill when she stabbed Hope and he was like, let's listen to her story. I was like, okay, yeah, bye. Hands down, they didn't eat. Everybody got their end game. I mean, everybody else got their end game but Handon, so toodles, I guess.
And I know that there's going to be people who are going to be like, oh, you didn't like them because they were people of color. No,
don't even try it. Don't even try it.
Nothing to do with it.
Don't even try it because y'all was shipping Cleo with Hope and everybody else. So that didn't even ship the shit. So stop.
I personally, I just found them boring. I think that they were trying to Handonize them and it just didn't hit. And I love Cleo.
They did the pancake thing. They did the eyes thing. Like they did the case thing, the miscommunication thing.
Well, you want to be my boyfriend? Like,
do you want to be my boyfriend thing?
The prison cell, like, hello, the prison cell thing, like all of these things, like
Caleb sacrificing himself.
Yeah, like they just
okay when he does it, but when Landon does it, it's a fucking problem.
So I feel like they try too much with them.
But it's like there's like hypocrites because it's so hand encoded. And then people are eating it up going, oh yeah, we love them. They're so, but really Handon's doing, they already did that. They already, like, they're just following the leader basically at this point.
Yeah, and it's not even just them. It's so many shifts that they try to do. Well, it's not that many shifts in the show. But between this and Lizzie and Ethan, which didn't, don't even wait till I get there. That they just was like, let me just pick something that Handon did. Like, you mean tell me they go on a little date, their first date, and they having pancakes? When it was the first date we saw Handon have. The little anniversary.
Oh, they had to have a year.
And they had it at the Mystic
Grill. Pancakes.
And they had it at the Mystic Grill.
Yeah.
When we first saw Hope and Landon.
It's yeah.
Yes, we pity. I don't
care. I mean, we pretty. So what?
What are you gonna do about it?
Don't do about it. Like
there was no. It was just.
Like it was like
I didn't feel the chemistry between the two of them. They're both great actors. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like people even shipped her with Ben.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like people. I barely recall people on that train. And I saw people say, "Oh, they started to ship them when he died." But I was like, how can you even ship them when he died when they literally was spoiled that he was alive in the next episode?
His chemistry with Ben was insane.
Yeah, Ben like
you were like so right.
Well, when I be saying Ben, like, as if his name is not Jed on the show,
right?
That's literally it kills me. It kills me. It literally kills me. But next, since we're on to actual character in Ben, not Jed, let's talk about Ben and Jed.
I mean,
amazing.
They ate. Okay.
I wanted from the beginning. I wanted Jed to be sexually fluid from the beginning, and I was like low key, like him and Rolf. I was like, can we push that would never happen?
Yeah, we wanted him. I
wanted that from the beginning.
I was like, because when I talked to Ben, he's like, you're gonna really love Jed's storyline coming up. I'm like, oh, what could that be? We finally figured out his backstory, but he also got a little bit of a gay action, and I was just like,
lots of action.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I shipped him and Ralph for a long ass time, and I was like just accepting every crumble I could get. And when obviously Peyton left the show, I was like, I'm happy for him to thrive on another show, but damn, like then I was like, okay, well maybe him and Caleb, because like they were giving something in season 3, and then Ben came, and that was up the chart.
As hell.
Like once he got poured into the school after that car accident, whatever, it was just pure on. And he just saw like Jed try to fight away. Like
Jed looked in those baby blue eyes and was like, "Well, fuck.
it was crazy, but I also liked
He
how
was hooked before he even looked in the eyes. He was hooked.
literally
Yeah.
he was hooked based off the physique. And what's funny to me is that like this was the only time where like betrayal was done well, just like I mean like just like Handon betrayal.
Yeah.
But anyways, like this was the second time that betrayal was done right. Caleb and Cleo could never, but their betrayal was so good because like the confliction and Action, it was like he didn't want to fight Jed during that time because he thought that he was making things better for him so that they can live their life together. Listen, he did that for them, and he only knew Jed for like a couple days, 2 weeks. And he was already trying to like help him get rid of his curse. Like
Yeah.
that's
That
dedication.
I love you
It
was
ate
a
that,
serve.
right, and he was like, "You did tell me now." That was solid. It was solid. Like I kid you not. I was like, they better be in game for real. Nothing better happen. There's no way. Even the like betrayal scene 8, the tension 8,
And it helps a lot
the
that
reunion, they
Ben and Zane as friends
are phenomenal. Are phenomenal.
outside.
Like they devoured like that
And they
scene.
are
Like they're really
serving us content left and right.
Yeah.
right.
We
Like
talked to Jennifer about them the podcast that just came out, which is our 100th episode, so make sure to go check that out. But we talked about how like she would say that Ben and Zane like were so dedicated to these two characters and their relationship, and that they would work so hard off screen to make this couple believable, and they just did such an incredible job.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
ship
and their
itself.
chemistry. Yeah.
Like the ship itself was already believable on the show, but then to get content from them behind the scenes because every legacy member literally died off the face of the earth because of this dumbass fandom. It was just phenomenal. Like they were out here giving content, and then you got Zayn being unproblematically himself, king, trolling the haters as he should.
And he's
Yes.
thriving right now.
And he's thriving, getting booked and busy and such, and Ben as well. Literally on Kung Fu, and I'm gonna have to get back into it, even though I can't. I'm not. At the like I already went down the model landing route, and you already know how that's about to be. I just heard what happened with Roswell as well, currently. So rest in peace. All the CW shows is doing the model landing print. I can't escape.
And the No Humanity Hope.
Yeah. Whatever that was with Liz, no ma'am. Liz was out here just. I mean, that was consistent though. Like she always chooses science over whatever.
Anyways, that's a whole other show.
Yeah, that was a whole other show if y'all want to hear about that. But they were phenomenal. Even though like the relationship was short because obviously they were introduced in season 4, it felt like it was for a long time. And the thing is that it was built up since the beginning of season 4. So when they got together, it was just like it was so fulfilling. And then their ending, them when him agree in a book, get out of here. That was the only happy ending that I was happy for. In the finale, like truly, I was like, yeah,
Literally.
y'all deserved, and and they got away from the school trust, free them.
We got that little hammock scene and the morning after scene. The morning after. Oh fuck.
The morning after. Goodness gracious.
Didn't Zane and Ben fought for that? For them to have more intimacy on their scene?
I think they did. I think they did.
Yeah, they did. They did.
They did.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you were the god. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
And that there was a bunch of scenes that we didn't get to see, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
And like, imagine like what we would have seen if the CW or WB hadn't slashed all of their fucking
right.
All of their good shows, all of their people of color, LGBT.
So basically, except for like 4. But remember, guys, it was because Legacy had bad views. That's why they were canceled.
Oh right, yeah, that's
yeah, right.
Yeah,
that was the
it
reason.
It was because Josie left. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
we said that at the exact same time. Like our mouths. Like,
it was ridiculous. But like, they ate top 3 best ships in the whole. I guess. Next, who is next? Let's do we might as well just do Lizzie. No, we could do Finch since she was another addition to the show. During the later season.
I love Finch. I love Finch on her own. I love Finch with Maya.
Yeah.
Finch and Maya.
Finch
the way we lost.
I hate you so much. everything. Yeah, like Finch, she is my sweetheart. She's my daughter. And it's crazy though because when she was announced, everybody was hating on her because of who she was going to be with, and I was just like, she's going to eat, and she ate.
Which is
We
so
knew
stupid.
about
Alpha,
we knew
Alpha,
about,
stupid. Because
we knew about Courtney and we knew about Finch a
but-
lot longer before everybody else found out.
It's so stupid because if Finch was white, they wouldn't have hated her as much as they did.
Yeah, she was so hated. And a lot of the shit that she done is light work to all the
She was
time.
simply hated
literally
because she wasn't Hope.
Yeah.
It killed me because like there's so many ships in this Vampire Diaries universe that's literally toxic. And y'all said that she was bad because she said she'll love the darkness for her.
Meanwhile, there's fucking fanfics about who saying the exact same thing.
Right. Them joining Hope with no humanityness.
As you can see, guys, we give no shit anymore. So
but her saying, I'll love your darkness for you is such a toxic trait. Don't know how that could be when people was out here killing their
supportive.
Like how, but y'all shipping people that was killing people's brothers. Can you please don't piss me off? Because that was just so weird. Like Finch couldn't even breathe. Finch is out here trying to talk to her about she's pushing her.
They were calling her a dog. They were
literally just for existing.
They were
and I was just
talking on to Courtney's lives and calling her names. I can't even imagine what they sent to her in her inbox.
Oh God. And then they use the trait which is known for every werewolf about her being like aggressive as that's her major trait when it's as if she's not a werewolf.
Yeah. Acting like she's problematic as if their fave isn't fucking problematic.
But yeah, she deserved to be with Maya.
Yes, Finch and Maya would have been so fucking cute, and I'm so sad that they stole that. They introduced it in it, saying that they had a relationship, and then like
just didn't do that. And then like you would have thought Maya came back because Ethan died, and
yeah.
So yeah.
And then we got Finzi. Which, I mean, Finzi was cute because
he was cute.
Watching Finch and Josie
was what Josie needed at the time.
I could watch Josie.
You know how we always say, how can you like a ship if you only like one of the characters? Well, that was Finzi for me.
Yeah, I mean that's also like me.
I've always said like watching Finzi, like watching like the only time I could bear to watch Josie on screen is when she was with Finch.
Yeah,
it's literally the only time.
Well, also I did like her with anytime she had seen Lizzie as well.
Yeah.
For the most part. Because I did like particularly
Lizzie for everything. Anyways.
Yeah, Lizzie. Yeah, exactly. Lizzie over Josie, 100% any day. I don't fucking care anymore.
Okay. Who's next? Well, since we're on, is there any other characters that's like not main before we get into like the main MG, he's only with Lizzie, so we can move to the main three, which is Landon, or the main four, Lizzie, Josie, Hope, and Landon.
Yeah, but we have Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan goes with Lizzie.
Yeah, but Ethan also goes with Ethan goes with FG too.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we might as well just do Ethan. Go ahead and since we can do MG, we can do Ethan, and then we can do Mizzie. Let's just do Lizzie section because that's when they all connect at the triangle. Let's do Lizzie first. Hate Mizzie. Sorry, I love you. I couldn't. I couldn't do Mizzie either.
I liked Mizzie at the beginning.
Yeah, there were. The thing is that I don't think it's the ship. I think it's the writing. Because for me, I shipped them in season 1, and I still shipped them to like literally 3 or 4. So like I was there content. Obviously, like I like them, but they're not gonna be like Handon level because when I ship things, it's always one ship that's going to just remain superior to all. But with Mizzie, I came in waiting in season 3. When they got their first kiss, I was hyped. I was excited. I was ready for the potential to grow. I was like, damn, it's kind of still early for you, but slow burn. It's still slow burn. And then they did him with Alyssa, and I was just like, no, I don't care anymore. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then you don't see them interact, and then you see MG having these like random ass jealousy moments, as if they're together when they're not.
When Lizzie showed interest in Ethan, is when MG was like, oh, wait a second. It was like a kid who didn't want a toy until someone else had it.
Yeah, and I hate those tropes. Like that's why I don't like Barchi. Is that like in a sense, this one person wants to be with everybody else, and then we gotta remain shipping them with the person that's literally the last person to be chosen. Like I hate that trope.
I like up until the Alyssa thing and up until MG's whole like day of no, which just pissed me off.
Yeah, the day of no. And
as if Hope's boyfriend didn't fucking melt and is gone, and he's all of a sudden, oh, my bitch ass girlfriend dumped me because
and I'm still loyal to her. Like what? Where was your?
Yes, it's totally the same thing, MG. Totally the same fucking thing.
Weak in the knees because you sat here and got with your friend's girl, your ex girl.
But there are people who do still ship Mizzie,
and we're
who won at the end and got Mizzie endgame. So you got your endgame.
I got my endgame. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but I understand the appeal of Mizzie, like slow burn, loving from
boy, popular girl,
popular girl, and like it's seeable, but the writers just completely ruined it. Like they wanted to it was like and the thing is like at that time they knew that they had like at least 2 more seasons and they just didn't know what the fuck to do. Like this wasn't even at a point where they knew that they were going to get canceled. They just didn't know what the fuck to write. They wanted to make the show like darker in a sense and do so much, but they just didn't know. And I'm just like, there's not that many characters for you to be doing all this dumb shit, and they did. And that's why it just fell flat because they got a kiss at the end. I'm just like, it would have been better if they got it like when she thought that he was about to die, like whatever. Next, since we're on the Lizzie, Ethan, and MG thing, let's do Ethan. I know nobody really here ships them, but I do. They reminded me of Bella and Edward. There's too many parallels.
But they had Twilight parallels.
They had parallels. They literally did. And like Bella and Edward are like top 3 my ships of all time. Been a shipper since I was like 10, and I'm not leaving. So if I see a parallel, I'm going to eat it up. But for me, I don't know what direction it was. I don't think it was right. I think it was just the chemistry because there's no way that like every time one of them was talking, they just never stopped looking at him, and I'm just like, you can look everywhere, you can look somewhere else. You don't gotta like stare and tilting into their eyes. I don't know. I just feel like their scenes were just so impactful. The chemistry was just phenomenal, and it was always feel like something was sinful. It was like him trying to be protective of this fragile human such as Ethan. And Ethan wanted to help MG no matter what and try to be like this helper. And then they're both superhero geeks. And they both and then Ethan became supernatural and then MG was still trying to protect him. And then even the bathtub scene we fell with no shirt. And MG was holding him. I'm just like, y'all doing this for me. And even when Ethan died, MG was the only one that literally cared. Like I feel like Ethan wanted to fit in somewhere, and the only person that really cared was MG. And I was just like, why are y'all fighting over this one person? Just go ahead and date each other.
Yeah, because it's not like he did that for Landon.
He didn't, sure didn't. He didn't, sure didn't.
Landon didn't get a room named after him after he fucking saved everyone's asses and brought them back to life.
Oh yeah, listen, man. It's crazy. Like don't let me get to the friends section.
I think we do need to film a Landon episode. Another one.
I feel like
there's still a lot of bitter feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't filmed season 3 or 4 of this video. I'm landing yet, and I already know that I'm going to be mad. And I'm just preparing for the day that I have to yell at my phone for like 2 hours. So, I think it's better to have you guys balance me out because I will fuck it up in here when it comes to landing. Like it's not even a joke. Like I cannot. Like every time I think about Legacy, I think about Landon, and I don't make tweets about Legacy anymore. I just cannot because I'm just like everybody getting their happy ending, but Landon
and Hope.
I already knew Hope was not going to get like they always have the people. I was expecting something. But I was like, maybe I was like, maybe Hope and Landon can get like somewhat neutral ending. They got
not
nothing.
Only did they kill her parents, but they also killed her boyfriend. The love of her life. And they killed fucking everyone. They're like,
literally, we gotta say that for when we get to the Handon, because I will literally forget all these ships and get right to it. Next is Ethan. Not Ethan. Damn. See, that's what the agenda. What is it?
Ethan, Lizzie and Ethan.
Yeah, Lethan. I didn't ship them.
Bit. Come on, you liked Lizzie and Ethan.
Come to the mic, boo.
Where'd she go? You there?
Where did she go? Dun, dun, dun.
Hello.
Well, I guess she's having technical difficulties, so let me step in. I feel like if they were going to do this to build up Mizzie, they fucked up badly because Ethan himself was brought in for a potential love triangle with Hope and Maya. Never happened. Julie Peg lied. Then it was hinted to him being in a love triangle with Lizzie and MG, and then plus hinted in Josie's little Third Box episode of them having a threesome, right? And I was like, okay, well, maybe we're getting to the love triangle thing, and it never happened. They went on a date once. Lizzie got attacked by that Clark monster tease, and then they never interacted with again. And then Ethan was just some simp who was like being her beck and call to how to fucking rare oak tree instrument. I was like, there's just no way that he had this much loyalty to Lizzie, and he only talked to her like 2 times. They played football, and then they had a little popcorn throwaway, and he was ready to just break bands with his friend for some person he just met.
You know what I feel like? I feel like the Legacy writers, created like this 52 card deck of storylines, and then fucking tossed it up in the air. And then just landed.
I generally feel like they just want to make so many plot twists in the show that it just not making sense, because they wanted to have something to have for somebody else's motives to occur, and then it never pursued anything. Because to be honest, I never shipped it in the beginning. Like I know that you and like Vic saw the vision. I think even Pia saw the vision too, right?
Yeah,
like I know a few of my friends saw the vision, and I was like, well, if it happens, it happens. It's better than I guess Mizzie at this point, because Mizzie wasn't supposed to be aimed at that point. So I was like, okay, well, if it's building it up for them, because we know Mizzie's going to win, then okay, then that's good. We can see, MG realizing what he missed, but like they literally never came back, which is why I was shocked to where Lizzie just like, Ethan, can you help me hide this? And can you help me burn this? And can you help me? Like, she knew that she was a bad bitch, because she was just having both of these boys at her beck and call. And it was honestly insane. But I was just like, they didn't build them at all. There was no,
honestly, I honestly didn't even see the chemistry.
I didn't see it.
I don't know if that was just me or like whatever, but like there was like, this is not even me being a Mizzie fan. Like, I just did not see like Lizzie falling for somebody like him. Like, I just didn't see how they could like work. First of all, Lizzie's also like to the point at that time where like she was like still kind of like a little hung up on MG or whatever, is still getting over like what happened with Sebastian, and like even Jenny was like, when she went through that relationship with Sebastian or whatever, she's like, she needed to go through that to kind of like see what could like what she could have, rather than having this bad boy persona or whatever.
And I feel like they tried to make it seem, because like, oh, they know how to play football together, they both were like on a football team, and they both were they're comic geek, but Lizzie is more secretive. It just didn't hit for me, and I feel like you could tell that they didn't have a chemistry read, because they were just thrown together randomly. Like, there was just nothing that kept me.
Yeah, they introduced it kind of in season 2 when Alaric was like, oh, I wish Lizzie would date someone like Ethan or whatever, which is why I assumed that was what was going to happen. But originally, he was introduced for Hope.
Yeah. And I'm not going to be a blind person, like, I'm already blind, but like, I'm not going to be delusional and not to see that like they like him and Hope had chemistry. Yes, like when they interacted, it was there. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, it wasn't dumb. I mean,
Danielle also has chemistry with a lot of people.
Everybody. So yeah, like it was just
almost
naturally her, but almost. But like when it came to like him and Lizzie, it just made no sense. Yeah. And you can tell that season 4 basically went through what season 2 did.
there was no build up, like no
None.
build up to their relationship. It's
None.
literally like,
Even his death.
him spending a day with her and being like when Lizzie was trying to set him up with Hope, it's literally him spending a day with her, being like, "Oh, I like you, not Hope." Like
Yeah,
a day,
it's impossible.
like
yeah, like you literally were determined for Hope. Like what?
he's sitting here talking about Hope the entire time, and you're like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
have
like
feelings for
you.
this girl." No, you don't.
Like no, you don't, because you would have paid attention to her at the game we all went against each other in season 2. Stop. And then like even the death scene of him dying for Lizzie, which we predicted, but that still didn't make no sense. Cause like, why would you, sir? Please. Like, and but the thing is that this season 4 went through basically what season 2 went through, which was that. But this time they knew that they probably wasn't going to get another season, so they just dropped their plots as soon as 4A was over, and that's why it didn't make a lot of sense. Because some of these episodes were for season 4. I mean season 3. So whatever they were having for season 3 had to get nipped in the bud for this season 4. So
let's talk about, since we're on Ethan, let's
yeah.
go into why he was originally introduced into the show, which is Hope.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't ship it. I saw like the chemistry, obviously, because Daniel has chemistry with everybody, but I shipped her with Maya.
Yes.
If I had to, I mean, because obviously
if it was gonna be one of the Machados, it was gonna be Maya.
Yeah, that's my number one crack ship in Legacies, was because I already knew that Julie was going to do something with Hope since Landon was obviously with Julie at the time, and I was like, well, if they're going to be the twins, whatever, I mean the siblings, Maya.
Landon was with who?
Okay, true. So with her, I mean with Hope and Ethan, it was okay, but I just didn't ship it. I feel like I didn't ship a lot of these ships on this fucking show.
See, I didn't mind him. I wouldn't have hated it.
I didn't mind.
Like, if it happened. I did prefer her and Maya, but I didn't think the writers were ever gonna do that. Like if they did, like, the relation or the triangle between the twins, or I don't know, are they twins? Are they twins?
They were in the same grade.
I want to say they're twins. I was gonna say twins. Candidly,
yeah.
I want to, like, if they did do the love triangle between the twins and Hope, then I feel like
Ethan would have won. They would.
Ethan would have won like 100%. Just because I feel
they already said it.
Like, yeah. Like, as much as I love the idea of Hope and Maya, I just felt like the writers would have gone the other way with Ethan, just so Ethan could have made his way into the friend group or to the school that way. Yeah. That's what I thought they were going to do, is like he's going to have this sort of relationship with Hope, and we later find out he was supernatural or whatever. But obviously they didn't go that route, and Hope went to the school alone. But they should, and
it was crazy though, because like when Hope everybody got the memories back of Hope, like she just came back to the school, like they couldn't even continue the the mystic fall stuff. Like they just literally dropped it. Like it was just like you couldn't even like see him or build him up to where if he came to the school would have been more shocking. It just was like they just forgot about him, and he just came out of nowhere. And I feel like obviously they were going to make Ethan be the most one, because with her and Maya, they just had like interactions, and it seemed like Maya was really feeling Hope, while Hope was just like, I'm sad with my boyfriend. But the thing is that both options weren't even going to really succeed, because Hope was literally still knows Landon.
She was still bad for Landon, and it was just like another thing. It's like Bianca is like, I've noticed this with especially like a lot of other characters that she's played. She's also got really good chemistry with a lot of people, and I feel like that with both her and Danielle having this incredible chemistry, that's what made it seem like it was going to work. But logically, knowing the writers,
yes, because if we're talking about Maya, I actually liked her with Josie, because there was that one instance at the football game where Maya just kind of like cocked her head to the side, and there was like that angst between that. Like that was my crack ship for Maya, was her and Josie, until Finch came along.
Yeah, but that's pretty much where it's at. Now, who's next? Because we did Finch, Ethan, MG in a sense, Caleb, now I think we're on the main four now. Lizzie.
Oh, well,
Josie,
we
Anthony.
technically didn't talk about like if we're gonna do lesser characters, even though I know this is with a main character, but like Sebastian and Lizzie.
I know he's gonna mention it, but I was gonna leave him to Lizzie because since that was her relationship. Since Lizzie, we might as well do Lizzie next because we already did Mizzie and stuff like that. Her and Sebastian were no. I feel
like I will agree with what Jenny said about it. It needed to happen for Lizzie to kind of like move forward in a way, but like they were just trying so, no offense, but they were trying so hard to do the whole like bad boy and like confident popular girl, and it just did not
they
work.
try to be like Caroline. That's what they try to be.
I was gonna say more like Delana, but that's
yeah, like it was like they were trying to be like that type of trope, and it didn't work because they already had me confused with the like he's not there but he's not shit like a ghost, and I was just like okay cool. And but the thing is that like Thomas, his chemistry with with Jenny was phenomenal. I'm not saying act delusional, but I just didn't see it. First of all, I couldn't take him serious with that hair. I could not. And then you got
that same fucking jacket the entire time.
The entire time looked like he's in fucking like he's in a fucking Disney movie with fucking Little Mermaid. I couldn't take it. Descendants, yeah. Like
wait, what did you say?
I said technically he was.
Yeah, I mean, he came off his descendant ship and came in here and
he was like Descendants. That's right.
Yeah, and he was a pirate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He played captain.
Oh yeah,
son or something.
He literally had on his outfit and just came on set. Like it like I think the only significance of him was that he kind of helped her get away from that like vampire idea or concept in her mind and made her realize what she wants for the current time. But like I just didn't see it. Especially when he took advantage of her with the blood situation. Like the chemistry was there, but like I knew it wasn't going to last because I already knew that Mix was going
to together they looked good. Like they looked perfect together on screen, but it was just so toxic, and it was just like it shouldn't have happened. I mean, if it was under like, I honestly thought like when they had brought up that book situation with like where Sebastian was in the book, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's gonna actually get like some sort of a storyline. That never fucking happened. So I was like, what's the point of having him in here? Is just literally just to be Lizzie's love interest? Like they, fuck a few times and then like this,
no, seriously.
Like it's literally like season 5 Delano.
Again, it's like they took a deck of cards and they threw them up in the air, and then they were like, whatever lands, and then they changed their minds.
Seriously, because there's so many storylines that just been dropped, and especially with Sebastian, why did you? And the thing is that I feel like with the writers, they don't know who to dedicate their storylines to, because why would you give Sebastian something about a book for him to die off?
But they literally brought in Lizzie's love interest to push the slow burn with Mizzie.
Yeah.
They didn't want to put MG and Lizzie together so soon that they had to bring in these people for both MG and for Lizzie. That's one of the main reasons why Alyssa was there. That's one of the main reasons why Sebastian was there. And then they have that Ethan situation where they were just trying to push it to the very end so they can have that kind of slow burn.
Yeah. And that's why they flopped, because when it came to I guess you could do Stairline, they didn't always base them dating other people as the push. They were just doing other things to where it came to where it made sense. It's like they can't write Mizzie as just developing on their own to come together. They just they just got to keep putting people in so it can make sense for them not to date at some point. And that's not
my thing with that is like the writers had like this thing about always trying to put Lizzie with somebody, whether or not it was going to work or not. And I think that's kind of like, I know that like people don't like the whole thing what they did with Mizzie, but it was like they never really like tried to like, I don't know, it's just like putting Lizzie with these guys who like, did all this shit. Like, I'm not saying Ethan did, but also obviously her and Ethan like had no like they had no development, no story. Like, I'm not gonna like sit there and talk about them, but like the whole thing with Rolf and then the whole thing with Sebastian. Wasn't there somebody else? No. Was it just Rolf and Sebastian?
Yeah. Pretty much. There's somebody else.
Must be not important if there was. But I don't know. I just it was from the beginning, it was always going to be Lizzie and MG, and I feel like bringing Sebastian in was just another like way to try to kind of like keep Lizzie's love life above waters, I guess you can say, like, so it's not drowning and then kind of completely disappear into the like
I think
bottom
it's
of the
silly
ocean.
that they think that she needed a love
Yeah.
Relationship.
Like, she didn't need it. She
That like a boy was gonna fix you know
exactly
fix
Like,
her, and
Literally.
like she does not
Yeah.
need to be fixed. Like, she's never needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
And
And she thrived on her own. And that's the thing that I don't understand. Because like they knew they brought Sebastian in as a love interest to push Mizzie. So why did they act like they didn't by bringing up the book thing to then drop this shit and make him die for a fucking anger? When you could have literally built how Caleb, like you rushed Caleb and how he turned into, like you rushed the Caleb thing in season 4. Like you could have talked about how Caleb became a vampire instead of that rushed ass thing about him being a ripper out of nowhere, which made no sense. Because why would he be a ripper when he was perfectly fine drinking blood in season 1? And then also you could have told us how MG turned, but instead you gave it to people that died. How did you give story? How did you give development to a fucking clown, fucking pumpkin monster instead of these characters who actually needed it? It's like they didn't know where to put their main focus on, and that was the problem. And which is why like Lizzie could have been thrived without. Why did you have to put her with 85 people to make it seem like she was just destined to be alone when that wasn't the case? It's been, I mean, we also forgot MG and Alyssa, so you might have to talk about them for a second. We did actually forget about them.
I mean,
we kind of ground them up already.
it's fair that we forgot about them because
MG and Alyssa are like, this is another like push towards like kind of giving MG somewhere else to think about while him and Lizzie are still going through whatever the fuck they're going through there. Because at this point, when Lizzie or when MG and Alyssa are happening, it's obviously Lizzie's starting to, come to terms with what she may be feeling for MG. But in a way, Alyssa was just MG's way of trying to push past the fact that
or trying to move on.
He's been in love with this girl since however long, and she's never saw him that way. And but I don't know. They never would have worked, never would have happened. I was not a fan of Alyssa, so I can't really speak on her or whatever, but like I said, it was another just way of keeping trying to,
Yeah, I didn't like it because it went against a lot of things that I take serious, which is the bro code and also the fucking how they just screwed over Handon overall. Like the whole season 3 ship of Hawaii was literally just a downfall for me because when it comes to Alyssa, I mean, she's a mean girl. She's like, whatever the hot mean girl we want to say. So like, you're not supposed to like take everything she says to a literal sense. But for MG to go after his friend's ex and think that he was going to be able to handle that without her going back to her ex-boyfriend, who was his friend, get mad that people looked at him sideways because of that, then was like, haha, like, you mad because she's feeling me. And then also sit here and hit the sentence for the girl who cheated on you with and is still hooking up with, Jed. And then you then get mad at Hope for doing the same thing you fucking did was protect your girl, even though she wasn't your girl. It was just a mess. And I just feel like a lot of these ships had like bad ass reasons to happen in the first place. But like due to that whole thing with him betraying Hope in them for Alyssa, who didn't want his ass, and he still was loyal to her when she was out here not answering his calls and messages. Sir, please. Piss me off.
I was going from talking about MG to Alyssa to trashing MG again.
Yeah, because like that's a fucking mess. Like that was a mess in itself. Like I will never forget the shit that him and Caleb did. Like I will never forget that shit. Like please, because if we're going to do a Lena video, they're going to be in the hot seat forever. But next, might as well do Josie next, and then we can just save Landon and Hope for last because they're the main ships. Josie.
If we're gonna talk, we didn't talk Hizzy.
That's friendships though. We're doing relationships.
Oh, we're doing relationships. Okay.
Yeah, and then friendships at the end.
Okay.
With Josie, we have Posey, which was Penelope and Josie. And they
got their end game.
Yeah, they really did. The thing is,
They
love
were
it.
my number one.
Who
Like, they were
fucking
like the
knew?
one person. They were like the one couple before I shipped before Handon. Like, it was literally like, as soon as they came on screen, as soon as she like looked over at her and was like, then winked, I was like, yep, I'm gone.
Yeah,
I don't care if they're exes.
Who
I
knew
don't care.
they would become endgame?
and the
Like,
thing
that
is,
was-
they kept bullying Posey's like stands for liking a ship. And I'm like, you can like a ship when the show's done, just like how you shipped Delana and Delana after the show's ended like 8 years ago. Why is it a problem that Posey shippers are still shipping them and Lulu left the show like maybe a year or two ago? Like, that's so weird. Like, why is there a timeline on who
They
to
got
ship?
endgame though.
But
They
they
stuck-
became endgame. Like, that's so crazy to me but it's not. Like, people act like it was out of nowhere. It's not. Because every season somebody mentioned Penelope. They kept her name relevant for no reason. I'm like, no one else is hitting her but Penelope. Some random girl comes in season 3 and mentioned how she knows about Penelope and that the only thing she heard about is how amazing it is because of Josie. And I'm just like, y'all are not understanding that Penelope still talks about her. And it took her leaving for Josie to flourish on her own so that they can come together on the same page.
Listen, as much as I love Fincy, which we'll talk about later, Posey is my number one. They're always going to be my number one. They have been since the beginning. Like, Posey and Handon, like, those are my two ships, like my two main ships. It's just the thing of exes or like lovers to exes to lovers, just like,
yes,
end of the entire show. When they mentioned that Josie was in Belgium, I was like,
and especially when it's not even
Belgium.
Yeah, and it's not even just that it was lovers to exes to, lovers to exes, but it's also the fact that when they broke up, they were still head over heels with each other, and especially on Penelope's part, because she did things to still help Josie, even though they're not together. And they still wanted to be together, but they kept fighting each other.
One day you'll understand why I did.
Like, Jesus Christ, we really got that. Like, now
the fact that Josie ran straight to Penelope first chance she could, like,
she literally said, I'm out.
She said, that's my girl, and she ran.
She literally, like, she said, I'm gonna go where I belong.
There's no one else here for me, not even my dad or my sister.
I was like, out of pocket. But congrats to her, like, for real.
No, like, I could sit here and talk about Posey for ages.
Yeah,
I'm so upset that we did not do this podcast during season 1 because I would have been able to, like,
been amazing.
I would have been like Posey.
Literally.
And first of all, Lulu, I know there's things about her, but like, she was my first like gay awakening. So I was just like, from the beginning, I was like, Penelope.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pia. I know you don't like her, but like, Penelope.
So. I know a lot of people don't like Penelope, like dudes like the stuff that she said to Lizzie and stuff like that, and that's understandable in itself. But Posey 8 down.
But Alyssa said some of the same things to.
Josie said
Josie has said those things. Or
a lot of people say it's like some crazy ass things in this show, and it's like they only select one person to emphasize it on. Like, come on now. You want me to go down season 1? How many things that Lizzie said was out of pocket, or how many things that Josie or Penelope said was out of pocket, or even Hope said out of pocket? Please,
Penelope was basically saying all the things that Josie didn't want to say to Lizzie.
Pretty much, yeah.
And once Penelope left, Josie kind of
saying them. Yeah.
Josie literally with the conversation between Josie and Hope in 115. Yeah, she's basically like, it's her fault that it's her fault she's like this, that she's not taking her medicine.
Josie, and it's like she always felt like she was the caretaker, and yet the caretaker of what? Like, what did she do really?
Like, Lizzie could handle herself. Like, Lizzie literally handled herself.
Hope was like, she can't control her brain chemistry, and Josie's like, but she can control when she takes her med, whatever she said. And it's like, are you serious?
That's out of pocket. And the thing is that one thing
You're angry about a girl that you pushed away because she broke up with you for a valid reason, mind you, and you're taking it out on your sister because she didn't tell you that she was leaving. What were you gonna do if she told you she was leaving?
Yeah,
You wouldn't have done anything. You're so angry at the
and-
whole situation. And like, I could sit here and talk for hours how I love Posey's relationship, but sometimes I thought Josie didn't deserve Penelope.
I don't understand why she got mad at Lizzie as well after they found out about
Lizzie
the
is
merge.
a fucking mind reader or something. Like, are you kidding me? It's like Josie can never take responsibility for fucking anything. It's always someone else's fault.
Yep.
It's Hope's fault or Lizzie's fault. Meanwhile, she's the whole fucking reason why Lizzie and Hope were fighting in the first place. And the only reason she fucking confessed is because she got caught.
Anyways,
Such
I
bullshit.
feel like talking about her ships.
But anyways, Posey,
next,
Endgame,
next.
Belgium waffles. Anyways.
Okay,
Right.
okay. I know we want to get into Handon because they're an actual ship.
Yeah, they're
But I feel like we should put Handon at the end simply because we are gonna go absolutely bananas over them.
okay.
So let's go into the friendships or the
Yeah.
crash.
We're not gonna talk about Finzi. Oh, I guess we already talked about him.
We kind of did talk about Finzi.
Yeah. Okay. Friendships. Number one, Hizzy. Best friendship in the fucking whole Vampire Diaries universe.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, if you look at the Vampire Diaries show itself and their friendships, it was actually kind of bad.
Their growth was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it was amazing. I went from hating Lizzie, like I could not stand her in season 1, to like her being like one of my favorite characters like of the entire TVD universe, and like her friendship with Hope was like one of the best and funniest shit to ever watch on the show. Like I could not stop. Like, and the fact that Danielle and Jenny were always so excited to have these Hizzy scenes and to have these scenes together, especially in season 2. It's like, and it's also the fact that Lizzie was the first one to remember Hope too.
Yeah.
And it's like that's when it really started, and it was all kept.
It was probably the most consistent they've done.
If you think about it, Lizzie was Hope's first like real friend, because like Landon, he was a boyfriend. Like they were friends, but like he was a boyfriend. But like Lizzie was like Hope's first real friend.
Yeah.
Like I knew from the moment that they introduced the twins at the beginning where they were in front of the school or whatever, and Lizzie's like more like despair. I was like, oh, they're gonna be best of friends by the end of this. And I was like, there's no way they can't go from being like frenemies to like best. Well, like,
and again, they would have been friends had it not been for someone else. So
yeah, I feel like that was probably the most consistent relationship out of the whole show.
Yeah,
because they couldn't even write Handon right. Like season 1, they had Handon Hope told Landon, "You're the strongest person I know," and then she called him fucking weak the next season. So like they were the most consistent, and plus like they always would talk to each other when things were like a certain way. They Hope always motivate, you know, when Lizzie was feeling some type of way about MG, Hope was like, go talk to him, whatever. Just as when like Lizzie would make jokes, like even though she was making jokes in a sense, she was still being genuinely there for Hope, especially with the Landon thing. And you know, you even saw the confliction when there was like the betrayal scene in like 308, where you know the black magic and also have Lizzie choosing MG over Hope thing. Like you see it, you see the betrayal, you feel the kind of like the chemistry in the tension between their eyes because they're friends. I guess they just became friends. They were there for each other when, you know, Hope memory was gone and like Lizzie was trying to push her to Ethan or to like rebound during that time, and even saying like you can't let Josie and Landon get together. Like they were always there for each other, and like their friendship like was the least toxic one out of the whole universe because they weren't codependent on each other. They were there for each other when they needed to, whether it was just to talk, to make jokes, even when they were fighting.
Their banter made me love the relationship even more. It was like
Heretic Lizzie and Tribrid Hope together was like
that's the funniest shit alive.
Phenomenal. But like Lizzie genuinely cared for Hope, and you could see that she, after they got over that whole initial lie, you could see that there was nothing really holding them back from becoming friends after that. And like because because like they could have been friends for so long. Lizzie had wanted to be friends for so long. And like the genuine and see, here's the thing is like when Lizzie was pissed off at Hope for hurting her dad, you're more pissed off at the people who you care about the most.
Mhm.
The fact that Lizzie was so mad at Hope just shows you how much she cared for her. The fact that someone else didn't really fucking care just shows you how little she cared for her. Like it just, you know, Lizzie genuinely cared for Hope.
Yeah,
and that was why she was so angry and why she was so hurt.
Yeah, and she had a reason for that. And the fact that like even though she literally found Hope and had a chance to kill her, she still couldn't because she cared about her. And it grown to a point that like they were literally like they knew each other since they were kids. Like Eric basically took her in like as another daughter.
In a way,
because she loved her. Like there's no way. Like I would never be able to do that to you guys either.
Yeah, no.
In a way, Hope and Lizzie are like soul sisters. They're literally like they should have like I don't know what it is about the relationship, but they're so much alike. Even though they're stubborn and don't want to admit it.
And it's funny because Landon said that, but it wasn't even Landon who said that. It was Hope's mind because it was Gollum Landon who said that.
Yeah.
Hope herself thinks that her and Lizzie are very alike.
No, they're very much alike.
Yeah.
They like, and I feel like people.
But yeah, like Hizzy was definitely an amazing friendship, and I'm happy that they are now like besties for life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Next, Hope and Josie, there was no friendship. Next, MG,
not much to say about that.
Hope and MG, no friendship. Next, Hope, Caleb, definitely no friendship. She definitely don't even like that man. Like, trust me, I don't think she talked to him when she turned her humanity back on. The person she talked to was MG, and that was the closest thing she talked to. Next,
but Caleb and MG, they were a good friendship.
Yeah, they were determined. Betrayed together, stay together. Let me stop. I love their friendship. They're literally brothers for life.
Okay, but honestly though, Hope and anyone besides Lizzie really not a friendship.
They're not,
besides Landon and Lizzie.
Yeah.
Like no one else.
That's really why Hand Izzy is literally the goal. Like I don't know why.
Hand Izzy.
Anyways,
that's
right. Literally, who's next? Hope and Finch at the end of the finale were surprising.
Oh my god, there was
friendship.
So much potential.
Out of them.
That was good.
So much fucking potential.
That was good.
That scene went
like
so good.
Finch and Landon. Oh my god.
Finch and Landon.
Oh.
Whenever I write fanfics, I always make like Finch and Landon's best friend.
They would have bonded so much, but like
right.
Finch and Jed is one of my favorite friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do quick one. Hope and Clark. You ship them.
No.
You deserve prison time.
You deserve Malagor. That's what it is. So we can forget that you ever existed.
Trust. So. You will be dealt with. Period. Because that's a mess. But I mean that reminds me of. But anyways.
Oh no. Yeah, no.
Anyways, next. Lizzie.
Besides Hope, did Lizzie really have any friends? I mean, her own sister wasn't her friend.
Like the witches used to trade on her every day. So basically Lizzie is only like listen, she needs Hope. That's all she needs. They're gonna be eternal together. Everybody else is gonna die at some point.
Hope and Landon. The three of them.
Lizzie and Landon.
Lizzie and Landon.
Amazing banter. Love them. They deserve more screen time interactions.
Really,
they have potential.
We need Handizzy, Ben, Jed, and Finch, and Maya. Yeah. That's it. That's all. And Ben. Oh, and Cleo, because like but I totally called Cleo being an anti-hero, but still, yes, Cleo. Cleo and Hope.
They didn't even talk.
Not much. Cleo and Finch had a really good at the end. Don't you dare.
I told you to put that there. Put them now. It needs to be signed. But yeah, like Finch and Cleo ate. I was real good. Who else? Ben.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of friends.
There's not that many. I'm telling you right now. The Super Squad clan as a whole, it just everybody.
Well, you know who is Raph and
Landon.
Yeah. Number
Raph
one.
And Landon, brothers.
Number one sibling.
Number one.
Like,
besides Hope, Raph was the only person that cared about Landon.
Exactly.
Like if he heard the shit that was happening now, oh no,
if he was alive when Landon had died, you know he would have been like funeral room, like all of that
Yes.
stuff.
Right.
There would have been
They
a
could
shrine
never.
Landon.
They
Yeah.
could
He was
You
never.
the
would
only one
never.
that fucking cared besides
They
Hope.
could never. Like them writers really got to fight me for real. Like
That whole
every single
school
one of them.
totally forgot that Landon even fucking existed. It was like, oh, Hope has
Yeah, but-
humanity off. I wonder why.
It's like he fell
You
into
guys dumb?
Malivore.
Yeah.
Not you guys down though for real.
No, honestly, it was. It was like he literally jumped into Malivore for everyone else. He did
Yeah,
not
like-
fucking exist.
Like they sat there and said, "Damn, she beat up Alert. Why did she turn from humanity?
Yeah, why is her humanity off?
Like
Hey,
she
I
didn't want to
wonder-
like."
Where's
like-
Landon's body? Where? Okay,
No, I found his
Wait,
body.
okay,
Wait,
The
Landon-
amount of times that Hope is mentioned like doing something or sacrificing the person that you love, and they did
And it
not
was
get
like-
the fucking
and it was
hit.
like- and
yeah,
it was-
right.
it-
They
it
never,
acted like
they never
Scooby-Doo.
fucking clued into
It acted
them.
like Scooby Doo. They was like Roof Raggy. What? Like, how do you not know? Like,
But even like Landon and Wade, Wade's like, oh, my best boy, but yet you didn't fucking talk about your best boy. Where was the fucking
Right.
pictures? Where
right,
was the
bro,
fucking
you went
memorial?
by, you went by
Yeah, you
D&D.
gave him a fucking headstone. That was it.
Yeah, right. You picked up the boy body, buried it, and then say, "Damn, that might be the reason why I Hope acting this way." Really?
Not one fucking person clued in. They're that fucking dumb.
So y'all mad? So y'all talked about Landon when we thought he was actually going to season 3, but he's actually alive.
Okay,
now,
but
bitches.
the only one who fucking knew that was Lizzie, but Lizzie was stuck in a fucking therapy box. Like
Literally.
she was the one that knew that fucking that MG's stupid ass Salvatore idol thing was good dumb. She was the one that understood that Landon was the reason why Hope's humanity was off. And yet no one else fucking clued in. No one fucking realized. You guys are dumb. Like the stupidity in that school. You shouldn't even
The
call it a school.
disrespect.
It's crazy because in season 3, he was alive and no one didn't rush to find him. But when he actually did, no one just didn't care.
Yeah.
Like it was
And then-
blasphemy.
It was like he brought, like Caleb showed up and Caleb was all like, oh, you got to send me back. Like instantly, like, oh, you got to send me back. Caleb, MG, Jed was the only one who even fucking said anything. And not to mention the fact that they kept the fact that Lana was in limbo from Hope. Both Alark, Lizzie, and Wade fucking knew it. Not one person told her. She had to find out on her own because of fucking clown venom.
Yeah, it's bad. That's why we got to move on from friendships, because we can talk about Landon.
There were no friendships.
There was none.
Landon and Raph
There was-
and Hope
yeah,
and
there
Lizzie, and that's
There's
basically
literally only two.
MG and
That's
Caleb.
literally it. Yeah, that was literally it. Like, no. Now let's talk about the number one thing.
Big
The reason why we're here today.
the reason that we have a whole
Handon.
podcast.
Handon.
Look at Vid's picture.
Oh,
Yes.
they're such good-
We never forget.
They took their time making them.
Can we have a
okay?
moment of silence for Handon, please?
Not the moment of silence.
Come on now. All right, we've come in.
Anyways,
Okay.
I've never been so angry in my life. And I think
So, Rob?
I think I'm still in the process, because the show's been canceled, the show's over. We got a podcast on it. We're about to meet the cast later this
The
year.
thing is it wasn't supposed to end, which is
It
so
wasn't supposed to.
frustrating. It was supposed
Wasn't
to
supposed to
continue
end.
for at least 2 more seasons. They had stories for at least 2 more seasons, and Warner Brothers fucking robbed us of those.
Yeah. And but the
Mhm.
thing is that as much as we can obviously talk about that and the robbery in itself, it's just the fact that no amount that even if we got 2 more seasons, they would have still fucked Handon up. Because it took now a 5th season for you to actually take Handon serious. And it wasn't going to be serious. It was going to be them developing on their own to then possibly come back together for last minute, probably when they got season 6. They spent 2 seasons doing absolutely nothing. They spent 4 seasons going back and forth between Handon, because season 6 would have Hope talk about something, and then season 2 would have her redact on what she
Spent
said, a
a whole fucking
retcon.
season- They spent a whole season with Hope with a fake Landon.
They gave us an AU season. Season 1, she was like, Lindsay, you're one of the smartest people I know. She knows he's human. He's a supernatural now in season 2 who don't die, and she's like, you're weak.
Don't even.
But
get
how
me
was he
fucking
strong
started
when
on
he?
that. Don't get me started on the fact that they fucking robbed him of powers.
They,
And
oh my
Caleb,
god! Oh
fucking
my
Caleb
And they
got
never
his
get.
Oh
fucking
my
powers.
god!
Why the
And
fuck
then they
did
never
Caleb,
touched
like,
it
Why would you
on
even
that
bring
again.
that one up? Why would you even bring that one up? I thought you were talking about the
No.
strong and the weak line.
no,
That is the worst thing I've ever seen because this Ferryman thing is shit. I don't care. I don't care. We're here. We're here. Fuck it. We're not even talking about Handon. We're talking about Landon.
I was gonna
There is
say,
no
guys,
we
we can
can
talk about that. Let's
We're gonna do a Landon video. This is
yeah,
love
let's
for
this is
Handon.
about Handon, the
This is
happiness
love for
that they
Handon.
like. Why we fell in love with Handon.
It's barely Handon. Like this season was just them on and off separated.
But we fell in love with them because we fell in love with them in the originals. They were so fucking cute. And like they knew when Landon was introduced in the originals that he was going to be the main love interest for Hope in Legacies.
Yeah, the thing is that like when they start, and even if you didn't watch the originals and you came into Legacies, like I did, the chemistry was already up because when it came to Hope, you already saw how isolated she was and how like much she's been going through due to losing both her parents, and plus it's been a 2-year time jump, and how she's been so like closed off. She doesn't talk to anybody, and the lurk is still trying to have her open up and talk to people and become friends with people, and she's not interested in anyone. And then she sees somebody that she hasn't seen in 2 years, automatically is so like into them that she starts to talk about her family, which she hasn't talked about in 2 years to anyone.
Yeah.
And then she automatically gets like she feels automatically betrayed, and she only talked to him like maybe a couple hours.
And the
She
show
said-
started with Handon and it ended with Handon.
Yeah,
No, like legit, like
Yeah, the
Danielle
very
and
first-
Arya's scene, like
first
Danielle and Arya's first scene was in the library, and the last scene was on the dock with
And
the
the first
causes of action.
title, the very first title was said by Landon, and the very last title was said by Hope.
yeah. And the thing is that like y'all like I know a lot of Handons were conflicted about the ending. Just know that they had got together officially. I mean, I'm sure they're still together, but they would have been to the end game regardless. Even though the show ended on whatever you want to classify it as, they were still going to be together. The storyline was just going to be Landon developing his emotions. I mean, if you want to hear about what was said, you can watch our last episode from Jennifer or Queen. But yes, that was some of the concepts in season 5. So yes, the only thing we're going to get in season 5 that would have made it more was the angst of the emotions of Landon not feeling anything, which would have.
But we would have gotten, okay, so every season they parallel each other. So this season, season 4, we had no humanity Hope. Season 5, we would have had basically no humanity
Landon.
They parallel each other every single season.
Yeah. I'm surprised season 4 wasn't a fake Hope.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, and to be honest with you, I know a lot of people like feel some type of way with season 3, and like yes, we complain about it due to other problems, but in a sense, I know that a lot of times we always get Landon saying, like in season 2, Landon was like he wished Hope would look at feel the same way about him, the same way he felt about her. Season 3 pretty much was how much Hope loves Landon for the Handons, because she made up, Cleo made up the Landon from Hope's memories and stuff like that. But that's really how much she loves and knows about him. He literally was the same. And yes, I know, oh my God, it's not really the Landon, but it's kind of really low-key Landon. Like you can literally take him to his hand in itself because she literally made him the same way he actually is. And then in season 4, he literally paralleled what Golden Landon was saying. So it was just like she loved him so much that he was picture perfect in her eyes. And that's why I will always eat season 3 up, even though prison world stuff that we robbed out of, yes. But even the breakup angst, what? Mama was in the kitchen, okay? Because that angst that he gave up, that was immaculate. First of all, Arya and Danielle, y'all put y'all fucking foot down. One thing y'all gonna do is give Handon the best scene, whether it's angst, tension, romance. They eat that shit up every time.
Honestly.
And I think that breakup probably looks my top 5 favorite Handon scenes of all time because I'm an angst whore.
I haven't watched it more than once or more than twice.
I feel like the hand touching is what got me, because
I think it's because
intimacy.
whenever Danielle cries, I just like completely lose it. And that scene was like the way she was crying, I was just like, I'm done.
But
and the fact that
also-
her the fact that her and Arya prepared that scene together, it's just
Yeah.
another like
And the fact that they talked about what they wanted Handon to happen at the end of the show.
Yeah, and all the scenes, most of the scenes, all of the like the moments unscripted, like their interactions, because they genuinely care about the relationship.
nose kisses unscripted.
That's one of Handon's best scenes, no
Yeah,
doubt.
and I love the hands because once again, that means that Danielle and Arya planned how their hands was going to be, because from the moment she walked in, she was touching him like to help with the bandages, and then when she like tried to like when she gripped on him to like when he was trying to walk out, like, and then the hand movements, like that just.
And the fact that Danielle and Arya like always wanted, like Danielle wanted like the little movement, she wanted to see why they were in love, just goes to show you how much she actually really loved the relationship, because they kept putting in all of the little touches and like, oh, the fucking nose kiss, that being unscripted will always forever be like the best moment of my life.
When we mentioned that, when you mentioned that in front of Danielle and you said the like two, what was it? The 304, that's like technically 220 for her. So I was like, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to confuse her anymore, but let me just she had to think about it for a second. But
she's like, what were we doing? And then she's like, oh yeah, I remember that. But like just the fact that she wanted to see the reason why they were in love and they weren't just like partners in crime. Like
like her and Arya literally put their lives.
They loved the ship. They loved them so much.
Like it was the biggest dub I've ever seen in my fucking life.
She is such a Handon shipper, and just the fact that she like has said that numerous times too. Like we have fucking proof of her saying that she's a Handon shipper. Like it's just no, like in interviews and stuff.
And I mean, plus at our lovely 3-on-1 meeting, you know, which I would never see, but just know.
Yes,
just know.
Exactly.
Just know.
We won't ever share, but
just know. She loves some Handon. So.
Kirby Michelson.
The fact that she agreed with me, like,
I like that.
It was a perfect match. But yes, if y'all want us to, I know that our next episode or episode that we have planned.
We're gonna do confessions next, right?
Yeah, confessions.
Yeah.
So please send in your confessions. We really want to
Legacy confessions, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Legacies confessions. Okay. The last time we got confessions about like virginity and stuff like that. We're talking legacies
and being in love with us, and then y'all cheating on it.
Yeah, I
still and me not even being in there.
I still want to know who I'm married to. So like, because like Alex might have an issue with that.
Oh yeah, now definitely. But like,
and it wasn't Alex. I already asked her that.
Now Robyn's taken.
But you can hit me and Vid up. It also is.
Naj, I mean,
don't piss me off. Yes. Confessions about ships.
But yes, legacies. Yeah, legacies confessions. It's gonna be anonymous. I will make a doc. We will tweet about it.
We did it like 80 times. Like
we will tweet about it.
And don't hold back.
Put it somewhere. Legacies. Yeah, do not
hold back.
Just know I will be adding my own confessions in there anonymously, of course, so no one will know it was me. But
we will know.
Yeah, I mean the girls will probably know.
Yeah, I mean I'm adding some too. And after the confessions, we're going to try to slide in a land and rant episode one day. I know that
I want to do a parallels episode
and a parallel.
Too,
we do want to do a parallel. I think we kind of talked about like doing a season breakdown for each, like season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
If you guys have any ideas that you guys want us to do, please comment and like.
And
please don't DM me because I will probably most likely not see it. So you can DM somebody else though. But
no, Naj and I already get so many weird fucking messages.
Yes, not to tell them to come to me.
Did you see the one that I sent you just now?
Oh my God.
Anyways,
where they came from.
Let us know.
What?
Listen, guys, if I have you blocked for some reason, there's a reason.
There's a reason.
I block a lot of people,
I mute people specifically on Tumblr, but on Instagram, I really don't see anything that's not in my vocabulary. So I don't really go looking, but I will not hesitate to.
I don't even know who this fucker is.
Right, somebody said that.
Anyways, yes,
Yeah.
we are hoping to possibly maybe watch and do podcasts on Vampire Academy. We're going to talk about that more.
Yes. Listen, that ship. This I know it was Sis. It's Sissy. First of all, I didn't know that Sissy was also in Mortal Kombat. I knew she was familiar. Need to watch the movie. But her and Kiernan, like, they gonna eat.
And I don't know anything about that show. I'm just here for this shit right now.
I watched the movie when I was younger, but I don't remember it. So I'm coming in with open mind. I know Julie Plec will probably not be accurate as I would hope. So I don't care. I'm just gonna come in and support my sis and call it a day. And plus I just found out that her boyfriend cheated on her. Fuck you, dude, whatever you is. You don't deserve peace. You got this fine. Okay, whatever. But yes, that was our Legacies ship and friendship episode. Once again, confession episode. We want it to be messy. Sending your double-decker juicy McDonald double quarter pounder confessions. I want to like gasp how like tea filled it is. Please don't tell us you're in love with us. Please don't.
I want to be speechless.
I want to be speechless. I want to like have to turn my camera off like this. Hold on, like this, and then be like, oh, this was too storm to speak. I need that. So give us that. And please, if we're gonna do, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of landed ones. Give me a trigger warning because when it comes to landing, I could spiral any minute. Like if you say prison world, I'm gonna become the Incredible Hulk. I'm gonna become She-Hulk. Just punch the camera, like so. Yes, but anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Handon Weekly content. Our social medias will be linked on Twitter and Instagram, so you can check us for future updates. There's other streaming platforms besides YouTube, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Anchor as well, possibly. And once again, leave us a comment on what else you want us to talk about. We already told you the potential episodes that we're having planned for the next few weeks. So until next time, guys, thanks for sticking around. Peace.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.